Help support Chris and Zach Attack by liking and sharing all of our content, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for all your latest video game news and updates. Hello friends, it's Chris.
It's Zach.
And welcome to Chris and Zach Attack E3 2017.
Yes, here we are attacking it, punching it, kicking it, calling it.
Alright, so hi guys, we're gonna do a little recap of E3, the last so-and-so days. So, now, E3 officially began Tuesday, the 13th.
Yeah.
However, each of the big gaming conferences took place over the weekend prior. So Saturday was, what was Saturday? Oh, it was Microsoft and
I think EA went on Saturday too.
Okay, Microsoft and EA went on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then Sunday was Bethesda and Ubisoft.
Ubisoft, yeah.
Yep. And then Monday was Sony.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday was Nintendo's, and Tuesday was the official start of E3. So it's going on now. So right now, there's not really much more news coming out. It's just more like in-depth looks at some of the games that were announced. Stuff like that. So we're not really going to report on any of that. So what instead we're going to do is just going to do a little wrap up, like what we're excited for, what's our favorite stuff, what's our not favorite stuff, which that's a kind of a unanimous thing, but
yeah. It's easy to point out your least favorite thing. It's a little bit tougher to point out what am I most excited for.
Yeah.
Like pointing out what was the shittiest is like, well, that's super easy. That's just obviously. But it's what game do I really want? Like, oh, I have to think about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, let's just kind of go down. We got our list of, our favorite overall games that were announced. So, let's just kind of start with Microsoft's.
Microsoft. My most anticipated Microsoft game is State of Decay 2.
State of Decay 2. Nice, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Why is that?
I think it might surprise people on the depth and really the scope of the game, because they've been working on it for a while now. So I think it's really going to come out and surprise people about how big and how deep the game really is and how good the game is going to be. I think Microsoft is really betting on it to be good, and I think it will be good. The first one is a solid title, and then the company that made it, I think they really learned a couple lessons from it, and they're really going to improve with a sequel, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Cool. Yeah. Sounds good to me. So my favorite thing coming up is obviously Minecraft 4K on the Xbox One X.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's going to be great. Awesome.
Those pixels are going to look so sick.
They're going to pop. They're going to be very crisp.
And then you can play with your Switch buddies.
Yeah. Did you hear the news that, apparently... You told me this, actually, so of course you heard it.
I heard it, and I told it to you.
So apparently, the Switch, when you log on to play Minecraft on Switch, you log on to your Xbox One account.
Yeah, you can log on to Xbox Live. I don't, they're going to reveal more, but yeah, you can log on to Xbox Live on your Nintendo Switch. I don't know how that's going to affect things in the future. I don't know how if it's going to be legitimate Xbox Live on your Switch, if you're going to have a game or two, I don't know how it's going to work. It's going to be weird. We'll see how that goes.
What's going on with Nintendo and Microsoft though, man?
Hey, Microsoft has got to team up with one Japanese developer, and they're in competition with Sony, so they see Nintendo as more of an ally than competition.
I suppose that could be a thing. No, but honestly, I don't really have a favorite Microsoft game. They didn't really... See, nothing that... Okay, so let me ask you that. Was World War II announced, or did the new World War II trailer come out during that? Or was that during Sony?
I think that was Sony's. I think Sony has the marketing rights for Call of Duty. So I think Microsoft had Shadow of Mordor, the new Middle Earth game.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So they have the marketing rights to that one, so they showcase that one instead of Call of Duty.
Gotcha. So yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything because like most of that stuff is cross-platform.
Yeah, I mean that's why I tried to pick an exclusive because
Yeah.
I mean there wasn't a lot of them.
The only one.
Yeah, I mean it's like that State of Decay. I mean, and a lot of these are coming out for Windows 10 also, so it's like they're not even true exclusives. They're also coming out for the PC, so you can just get it on Windows 10 if you don't want to get an Xbox.
That's true. Yeah, that's absolutely true. I mean, I guess the most exciting thing is the Xbox One X, but it's like I'm not going to be getting it. So
no, I need to see more before I'm going to get excited about that.
Yeah, I don't have a 4K TV either.
Yeah, I don't either. So it's like, man, like just getting that would be like $1,000 just so my games look better. No, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, let's move right along. Let's go to favorite EA game. What do you got?
I put Battlefront 2.
Battlefront 2. Yeah, I put that too.
Yeah.
And then yeah, we'll talk about that one later. But yeah, Battlefront 2 for obvious reasons because yeah, it's just looking great. They've literally listened to the fans. They've got the story mode coming in.
Yes.
They've got the prequel stuff in there. Because people. All right, so despite the movies, there's still a lot of lore in the prequels.
Yeah.
And people like that stuff, so it's like, yeah, give me some of that. I like that.
Yeah.
Be clones versus droids and all that. Let's see, what else do they got? Obviously, Darth Maul. Sector is clear. Sector's not clear. Not clear.
Not clear. Not clear.
Anyway, and then as well the free DLC. Like all DLC for that game is gonna be free. There's just gonna be some microtransactions, kind of like possibly kind of like Overwatch with the loot boxes.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean they're really, like you said, they're really listening to the fans. They're really taking a lot of feedback and trying to give out like a high quality Battlefront game, because Battlefront that just came out a couple years ago, it was really lacking when it first came out. It had very limited maps, it had limited heroes, a lot of limited gameplay types. So EA's like, okay, like here's kind of like, we're sorry, we're going to give you like a legitimate Battlefront shooter, and a lot of people are excited for it, and I'm excited for it too.
Good, yeah, yeah, it's gonna be great. Let's go into Ubisoft. What do we got?
I don't think I wrote anything for.
You don't think no? Not excited for Assassin's Creed.
I probably won't buy a single Ubisoft game this year.
Okay, I mean that's fair, but
Yeah.
but I mean we have to be excited for Assassin's Creed because that's part of our Patreon package.
Well, we don't have to like play it. I can just buy it and just look at it.
Just set it up on your
just
set
have
it
like
up on
this.
your sync back there.
Yeah, just have like the super collectors. Like, oh yeah, that's my collector's edition. Have you played the game? No, I haven't played a second of it.
But yeah, there's one thing that they announced. It's more of a Nintendo title, but it's a crossover platform. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I'm a little excited for that.
Oh, I guess, yeah, that one does look good.
Yeah, there's one thing coming out, and then I think most people are excited for what's that game called? That sequel.
I guess South Park is coming out. Okay,
South Park.
I take it back.
There you go.
I take it back. I am excited about the Fractured Butthole. We will see if I pick it up, but I am excited for that because Stick of Truth was solid. So I take it back. I am excited for an Ubisoft game.
Yeah, if you get Fractured Butthole,
yeah,
you get Stick of Truth for free. So
okay, well I'll reconsider not buying an Ubisoft game this year, but I'm still on the fence about buying it.
Yeah, but yeah, I think what's that other game that came out? It's Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Oh yeah.
I think people are excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Bethesda.
I mean, I like the look of the Evil Within 2. I think it looks pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it wasn't tacked on to the Bethesda media conference, like the way that went down, because I think the Evil Within 2 looks like it's going to be a solid game, but everything else surrounding the Bethesda just is a dark cloud of like terrible. Like it's horrible.
What, you don't want to play Skyrim VR? That's what I'm excited for.
Buy
man.
Skyrim for Skyrim for the 5th time.
The 5th edition of Skyrim on the VR. No, I'm not. I'm not actually excited for that. I'd be if I did play like some scary games, I'd probably be on board with you with Evil Within 2. But
yeah, I mean, because it's like the guy who did Resident Evil. The first one was kind of a sleeper hit, so this one it's kind of like maybe they figured out what went wrong with the first one, make it a little bit better, fix some problems, and release a polished product. So yeah, I'm excited for that one. Everything else, not really.
Next up, let's go Sony. What's the most?
My most anticipated Sony game is Spider-Man.
Yep, that's a good choice. That's a very good choice. Obviously, mine's Final Fantasy 15 VR Fishing. Duh.
Well, yeah, Game of the Year.
Game of the Year category right there. Seriously though, it's got to be Days Gone. I'm very interested in that game.
Yeah, that looks fun.
There's been a lot of zombie survival games, but honestly, there hasn't been. There's only been one that I think. Let me just think for a second. I think it's just been one that I think has been really, really good, and that's The Last of Us. That was it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously, they weren't really zombies, but they were zombies.
Yeah.
In that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is definitely going to be cool. Excited for Sam Witwer coming back onto our game screens. Favorite Nintendo game.
Mine is going to be Metroid Samus Returns because this one comes out this year and it comes out for a console I currently own, so I'm going to be able to pick it up pretty much day one. Ooh, and yeah. I really like Nintendo's taking a chance with Metroid. They're basically saying like we will release Metroid games. If people buy them, we will make more of them. So this is kind of like a test for Nintendo. Like if people buy this Metroid game, they see that Metroid is profitable and they will make more Metroid games. So this one I'm excited for because it looks good. And just buy more Metroid games because they'll make more Metroid games.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it'll be great. I think it'll be great as well. I might pick up a 2DS just to go get that too. I think I said before. So, but my favorite one I'm looking forward to is Super Mario Odyssey. I know down the line I will eventually get a Switch. Maybe if it goes on, I don't know. Do they do console sales during the holidays?
Maybe Black Friday. They might be like some kind of bundle.
Okay. I'd probably pick that up.
Yeah.
So I know GameStop does those bundles right now, but like there's only like one game in all their bundles that I would want to play, and that's Zelda. So if they did another bundle with this game in it, and maybe I don't know Mario Kart 8, sure, let's do it. I like it.
Yeah. Well, a lot of those like GameStop bundles aren't like actually like valuable. They just take like the combined total of everything in the bundle, and then that's what you're paying. Like some of like the console, like actual like Nintendo bundles, it's like you get the console and then you basically get the games for free. Like there's no markup on it. It's just you buy the console and it's like you get 1 or 2 games for free.
Yeah,
because I know like Sony does that. Sony did that with like The Last of Us for the PS3. Like if you bought a PS3, you didn't have to pay more for it, and you just got The Last of Us for free. So it was kind of like just incentive to buy it.
Nice, yeah. So that'd be nice if Nintendo did the same thing. They just packaged the game inside of the Switch.
Yeah.
Maybe Breath of the Wild one, yeah.
Hey.
Anyway, so I think that's all of them. Yeah, I think it is. So, best overall game. Most excited.
For me, it's got to be Anthem.
Yep. I was gonna say that if it wasn't Battlefront 2, I would have picked Anthem. But it's coming out next year, so something that's coming out this year that I can get my hands on. Yeah, something that's Battlefront 2, but next year definitely excited for Anthem.
Mm-hmm.
Really looks like that BioWare. Like I said in the video, it looks there's a lot of stuff in this trailer that looks like what Andromeda should have been.
Yeah.
And I believe that Anthem, because the main team at BioWare was working on this, is going to be some pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I mean they got like all their they're pretty much getting like all. I read today that it's the writer for Anthem is the same writer for Knights of the Old Republic, and then Mass Effect 1 and 2. So it's like they're bringing a lot of talent onto Anthem. They obviously want this to be a big hit and like the start of a new franchise for EA and BioWare.
Yeah.
So they're really putting a lot behind this, and it's a style of game I really enjoy. It's like the shoot and loot, and I love those style of games. So I mean this game has one of my favorite developers of BioWare. My favorite style of games, and it's sci-fi. It's like everything I could want is right here in Anthem.
Think there's going to be multiplayer?
Oh yeah, guaranteed.
Nice.
Yeah.
My favorite overall game, I think, is going to have to be Spider-Man. I'm looking forward to this game quite a bit. I think now the past Spider-Mans that came out have not been that great, but this is a new developer.
Yep.
Working on it, obviously with Activision's wallet backing them up, as well as the power of the PlayStation to put it on. And not only that, but it looks like they've really taken some hints from what makes the Arkham games so fun, so replayable. Yeah. And that is what I'm looking forward to, is like an Arkham-style game with Spider-Man. Yes, sign me up.
And they say, like, I don't know if the whole game is going to be open world, but they say that there are open world elements to the game, so you can kind of just, like, swing around the city and just do stuff.
Yeah, because I remember in Spider-Man 2, like, the Spider-Man 2 game that was based on the movie Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
If you remember that. It sounded very confusing. But that was a completely open world Spider-Man game, and just swinging around the city was just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I just remember that, so.
Yeah.
Best overall news.
I think my favorite news is that Nintendo's like kind of they're taking a chance on Metroid again, and they're saying like we haven't forgotten Metroid. We are hearing people say like we need to make Metroid. We're listening to the fans. The people are saying like don't forget about your basically like forgotten IPs at this point, and they're saying like, well, we haven't forgotten about it. Like we are listening.
Yeah, that's exactly true, and that was one of the biggest things that we were kind of worried about, is that what's Nintendo going to do at E3 this year? They're just going to show us some Wii U ports? Like, no, it's exactly not what they didn't want to, or it's exactly what they didn't do, and it's what, and we didn't want them to do that either. So, and we wanted them to show us that, bring new games with their vast library of IPs, which they did. We've got Fire Emblem, we've got Xenoblade Chronicles 2, we've got Kirby, Yoshi, Mario, Metroid, Pokemon.
More Zelda. Yeah, more Zelda.
More Zelda.
Yeah.
What more could we want? Nintendo did great this year. And I think obviously Metroid Prime 4 that it is in development, along with a Pokemon RPG, is definitely the best news of the entire E3 conference. So
because I mean one of the big questions about having a Switch is like, is this console going to remain, like, is it going to stay like hyped up? Are there going to be quality releases every year? And Nintendo's basically saying like, yes, every year you're going to look forward to a bunch of quality releases on this console. Like, we're not going to forget about it. It's still going to get good games year after year.
That's great. I love it.
Yeah. Worst
overall news. Worst thing of E3.
I mean, the worst thing has got to be Bethesda's media conference. Just as a whole, like the one shining. Well, there's two. It's the Evil Within 2 and Wolfenstein 2. Mm-hmm. Those are like the shining spots of the media showcase, but everything else was basically garbage. I mean, they should have just. I don't think Bethesda should have even had a media conference at this point. It's like they didn't really showcase much. They could have just released the Evil Within 2 and Wolfenstein 2 trailers. They could have just attached it to one of the other companies, or just, I don't know. Like, they did not need to have a media showcase for this shit, because it was not worth it at all.
No, it wasn't, because they announced a Fallout port, a Skyrim port.
Yeah.
They just kind of talked about Well, I guess they announced the DLCs coming for Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah.
But like you said, that could have just like came out somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, they could have just released a YouTube trailer, and it's like we could have been just as excited.
Yeah. Then they got their stupid card game.
Yeah.
And then during their Sony conference, they announced another Skyrim port.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
they didn't do very good at all this year.
No, I mean, and it's like, if the thing I'm getting excited about is just sequels to like lesser franchises that Bethesda owns, it's like that there's something wrong with that picture. It's like Wolfenstein and Evil Within are not their go-to franchises, and that's what they're counting on this year. That's what they're betting on is sequels to those two games. It's like, really? That's what you're betting on.
You know,
and then like,
sorry, go ahead.
And then crappy VR titles.
Yeah. And then I was just thinking to myself, like, what if like Bethesda's kind of trying to pull a Blizzard by like, what if they don't have another Elder Scrolls coming out? What if they're just putting all their cards on online?
I mean, I could see it. It's probably in the long run, it's probably more profitable for Bethesda to focus on the Elder Scrolls because, like, you see them re-releasing Skyrim all the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, like the initial sales of Skyrim, say, okay, so Skyrim comes out, it sells well, and then after like 5 years from now, you start seeing the sales trickle off. But with like the Elder Scrolls, like you can get a constant revenue stream off one game. You don't have to develop any more. You just, okay, we'll do like an expansion, we'll do some DLC, and in the long run, you're probably going to make more money off the Elder Scrolls than you would off like another Elder Scrolls mainline entry.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see them doing that. I mean, I'm not happy about it, but I mean, I could see them obviously like, we're going to do what's best for our company. We're going to do what makes us money, which is focus on card games with the Elder Scrolls Legend, which makes a lot of money. Those games make a lot of money. And the Elder Scrolls Online, which again makes money. And you look at like the paid mods and stuff, which also makes money. So
yeah, that's the other thing too. When they announced the paid, not paid mods, yeah, that's gonna backfire fast.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's not a great way for them to go, and it's like you kind of lose consumer confidence by doing that, where you're like, basically like, fuck you, we don't give a shit. We're gonna make money. We're going to try to make as much money as we possibly can. It's kind of what Rockstar is doing with Grand Theft Auto right now. They haven't released any single-player content. There's been no single-player DLC. It's only been Grand Theft Auto Online stuff because it makes them money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, more people play online than anything, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, sad to say Bethesda's not doing the best, but we'll see what happens when the years come around.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll surprise us next year with something, but so far this year's Bethesda's slate of games looks very underwhelming.
So who do you think won E3? If it was, it's never really a contest, but
no, it's not a contest. But there's always like people who are like articles coming out like, who won E3?
Yeah.
It's like what? It's like there's no winners, there's no losers. Like they're still like billion-dollar companies. Like they don't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm going to go with Nintendo just because I really like what they showcased. They're keeping the 3DS alive. Like they announced a bunch of 3DS games. We didn't really get into 3DS, but there are 3DS games coming out.
Yep.
Having a Switch is still like looking like a good idea because there's games coming out for that. A mass release of new games from beloved IPs. It's a good way to generate hype and sell systems. So
yeah.
I mean, I like Nintendo. I like what Nintendo did overall this year, and I think they won E3.
I would have, I was gonna say Sony, because here's the reason why. They just kind of came out, they didn't do any talking, they just, showcased a bunch of games, good games, exclusive games, AAA titles, all that stuff. It was a very, very great presentation. There was, aside from all the VR gimmicky stuff, there wasn't really anything to like complain about. However, the one thing to complain about was all the gimmicky VR stuff. And when you go into Nintendo's thing, there wasn't really anything bad about it. It was all really, really good stuff. Like you said, they're listening to their fans. They're bringing in some new, they're bringing in, making new games for their IPs, endless library of IPs, and that's what we wanted. That's what we needed. That's what the Switch needed.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll have to agree with you that Nintendo has definitely walked away victorious this E3, even though it's not a thing. But Sony, I think, is a close second.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I mean, like, obviously, Microsoft just really didn't. I mean, it's kind of sad to say, like, Microsoft really didn't announce anything when they announce a brand new console.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like it's still just like.
It's still the same generation. I mean, you just get a small graphic upgrade.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. It's like they announced a new console, but there's not any like new exclusives for that console. There's not any new experiences for that console. So it's like at the end of the day, buying a new console just to play existing games that look a little better is not a reason to get excited. And that's why Microsoft is probably third by default because, well, no, actually they're probably lower than that because I forgot about EA and Ubisoft. So
yeah.
They're not last because Bethesda's last, but they're close to second to. I mean, they're obviously second to last.
I'd probably say they like maybe tied with Ubisoft, honestly.
Yeah,
but it's whatever.
Yeah.
You got any closing thoughts?
I mean, it's just I mean, we can say like our favorite thing or least favorite thing, but I mean, overall, like being a gamer right now is like it's like awesome. I mean, there's so many cool games coming out. There's so many things to look forward to in the next couple of years. It's like this is like a golden age of video games right now. I mean, you look at this, you look at all these releases, all these games coming out. I mean, this is insanity. I mean, we're getting spoiled the next couple of years with like quality games.
Yeah, and it really kind of goes to show you like how far this industry has come. Like from parents buying their kids a Nintendo or a Atari 2600 and just a little pastime to something that's like that's been evolved into an industry.
Yeah.
And that is a powerful industry that creates artwork of all types, be it visual, sound, story elements, just what have you. It's definitely awesome to be a gamer, as you said. One thing I do want to say is that I've seen a lot of people say that it's kind of been like a lackluster E3. What with some of these other companies not doing very well. I just want to remind you guys, there have been worse E3s.
Oh God, there's been worse E3s. I mean, and then it's like also like the point of E3 is not to like be better, like to one up yourself from every year, because at that point like you just get into like ridiculous like gimmicky shit because you're just trying to like be better. I mean, E3 at the end of the day is to showcase your new games, to get people excited for your new games. It's not to like be the most hyped about thing, to be the most like talked about thing. It's like, here's our games, this is what we're working on, we're going to show you, like, here it is. That's what it is. It's not like some big competition. Nobody even there are articles about winners and losers, like nobody's winning, nobody's losing. It's just gamers getting together to play other people's games. I mean, you see pictures of like Miyamoto like playing a PlayStation at E3. It's like it's about gamers coming together and like loving games.
Absolutely, I agree with that. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's gonna do it for us today. I'd like to thank everyone for watching us for the last few days. It was definitely a lot of work to get all those videos up, but I think it was definitely worth it.
Killing it.
Shows that we're able to stick with the times.
Yeah, we're not old fogies. We're not old assholes. We talk about stuff that's happening now.
Absolutely. Thanks once again, everybody, for watching. Definitely subscribe, like our stuff, all that stuff. We're gonna tell you at the end of the video. Yeah. Because we've got goals, man. Obviously 100. When the goal is still set, we got to talk about some of our goals though. The goal is still set that if we get 100 subscribers, we're going to open up a Patreon.
Yeah.
So anybody that subscribes, go ahead, please just get the numbers up there, guys.
Yeah.
We can
tell your buddies, tell your friends.
Mm-hmm. Share it with everybody. Share it with your mom, if even
Sure. Yeah.
she can use a couple of young lads to look at.
That's right. That's right. I mean, moms need entertainment too.
I'm totally kidding you about that. Don't do that. We all love your mothers. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching the video.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
And follow us on the Twitter, ChrisAndZachAttack. Follow us on Instagram, ChrisAndZachAttack. And follow us on Twitch, SgtMajorCool.
ZachAttack 4131.
And ChrisAndZachAttack, the joined community channel.
That's us.
And thanks for watching. Everything you do will help us rise to the top.